Hey guys, it's ETPs aka KP24 here, making another YouTube video just to update you on the latest part of the story. I've had a pretty crazy 2 or 3 weeks, but it's been challenging. Getting through these things can be quite rewarding if you go about it the right way and pull through. I don't want to get too negative though, because actually everything's fine, pretty good. But over the last 2 weeks a few negative things did happen, both in poker and in real life, and we've just had to push through them. So let's be honest, a lot worse things have happened. So let's have a look at some of the things that have happened. So yeah, event 1, my coach quit on me. Now I don't particularly want to badmouth the guy, and he's got his reasons and I have to respect those, I suppose. What it meant though, that suddenly Gordon's got 3 extra guys who needed a coach. I had a chat with Gordon, and he did say that as long as we all want to continue, he would take us on himself. He'd already got 6 or 7 six-max students though, so adding that to running his own business, etc., I thought that was quite admirable. Anyway, cut a long story short, Gordon and I had a chat, and I offered to make the switch over to Heads Up, as he'd previously mentioned that there was more capacity on that side. We had a brief discussion and we decided that that was a good way forward for everyone, so let's go for that. I've been assigned Ilidek as a coach. Ilidek's one of Gordon's previous students who's now crushing Heads Up, and he went through a similar process to me, did coaching for profits, etc. And in fact he even used to be a NL25 6-max player too, so we've got quite a few things in common there. Event 2, yeah, my teeth. I've blogged about this a little bit, but I think it was about 3 weeks ago now. I was eating some of the wife's lovely cooking and felt my tooth crack. Took painkillers that night, but ended up going to the hospital in the middle of the night. They gave me some awesome painkillers and sent me off to the dentist for the next day. They had a look, noticed that I'd got 2 wisdom teeth that needed to come out. Took normal x-rays, and one of them was pushing onto a nerve, which brings complications for the extraction. First 2 dentists who looked at it refused to do it, which I assume is for insurance reasons, and then referred me to a surgeon who travels around the UK doing this sort of procedure. That brought the problem that there was a couple of weeks waiting. The main problem was that if they damaged this nerve, I could permanently lose the feeling in my gums, lips and tongue. So I had to wait a couple of weeks for this surgeon. I was in a lot of pain for 2 weeks. I was taking tons of painkillers, which were making me, after every couple of days, I was being violently sick as well, just kind of emptying my stomach. Anyway, I had the 2 teeth removed on Monday, 5 days ago. Been in quite a bit of pain since, but I think the operation was successful. I've got the feelings back in everywhere, which they actually thought would take 3 or 4 weeks. So it was going to take 3 or 4 weeks before they knew if the damage is going to be permanent or temporary. So that seems to have come back already. So again, that's ended on a positive note. So event 3, our 3-year-old boy's been quite ill. He was ill for a couple of days at the beginning of the week, and then on Tuesday he went downhill really quickly. My wife took him to see the local doctor, who sent him straight off to hospital. They seemed to spend hours doing different tests on him and then waiting for results, and he was also put into quarantine, which was a little bit worrying. They finally decided that he's got croup, which is a type of flu. Gave him steroids and stuff, and they did let him come home after 24 hours. He's still got a really high temperature, and he's been back to the doctors a couple of times since. Positive thing to come out of that is that I suppose it'll build up his immune system for the future and give him some extra strength. It also gave me a chance to spend some time with our 5-year-old daughter, we'd have some good fun. Me trying to get her ready for school and getting her packed lunch ready and stuff. It was more like a TV comedy than family fun. I was also a bit high most of the time from the painkillers that I was taking, so that kind of added to the chaos. Big thanks to my wife for all she did though over those few days, and she wasn't feeling too well herself at the time, so big thanks to her. So moving on, Heads Up. I think it's about 2 years ago I was playing Six Max at 4 o'clock in the morning. Just opened the table up and ended up playing Heads Up against one guy for about 100 hands while we were waiting for other people to get out of bed. He was calling 100% pre-flop and donking nearly every flop. I labelled him as a fish because we all know that people who donk are fish, right? And thought I'd take all of his money off him. Trouble was, he slowly took all of my money. That was the first time I really felt that I was getting exploited hard, and I also realised that I'd got no idea how to defend and how to exploit him back. Played on my mind for a few days, and then was when I decided that playing some Heads Up would be a really good way to improve my game. I actually got in touch with Gordon back then. I think I found him on 2+2, and he advised me to play Heads Up Sit and Goes because the rate kills you at Heads Up cash micro stakes. And he also told me not to buy his more expensive courses for Heads Up. I was looking at buying the Heads Up Mastermind, and he pointed me towards a cheaper product more aimed at beginners. The fact that he did that actually made me have tremendous respect for him already, rather than taking more money off me for his more expensive product, and that's something I haven't forgotten. So I played Heads Up Sit and Goes for around 2 months then, and had some quite decent results. Here's a graph I found stored away on my PC. Results are quite good. I gradually moved up to the $7 games, and I really enjoyed playing those games. I found it much more interesting than Six Max, and challenging, trying to find out how to beat each individual opponent. And at the time I was really convinced my learning curve was shooting up as well, playing Heads Up. Unfortunately, I only really played early in the mornings then before I went to work, and as I moved up, it became more and more difficult to find opposition. I remember I was playing at Stars and iPoker, trying to find games, but I'd end up just sitting and waiting, and with the lack of available hours to play, that became too much of a problem, and that's how I actually ended up going back to Six Max, just because there was more action around. So now I'm back, this time playing the cash games, and I'm totally loving it. Ended up back at Heads Up has been a brilliant result for me, and I don't actually play early in the morning anymore, so that's not going to be a problem. But actually at cash games there does seem to be more action anyway. I'm just practicing at NL4 for now. The rake is ridiculously high, it seems. It's around 25 big blinds per 100 hands, so it's hard to beat for me anyway, and unfortunately my results are showing that. I'm playing against anyone I can sit against, and I'm seeing some really bizarre players. Some people just seem to give their money away. A lot of people are crazy aggressive. I would imagine that when I do move up and stop just practicing, I'd be better off not playing against some of these types of guys that can really tilt you like crazy. It becomes a game of real patience. On the other hand, it's great fun now. The coaching's going great. Illidex seems a really cool guy. He's been really patient with me so far with all these dramas I've had going on at home. We're working by having like a constant email conversation at the moment. We decided that's the best way to go while I practice and get into the games. It's just sort of a case of me playing lots of hours and practicing hard. We're looking at lots of hands every day, just getting my basic game in order before we go deeper into specific topics and adjustments. This week we've done a lot of work mostly on pre-flop hand selection and how we can adjust that versus different opponents. What I can say 100% confidence is that I've learned more about poker strategy in the last 10 days than I've probably learned in the whole of the last 4 years. Bring on more, I'll say. Okay, let's just run through some results briefly. Played 8,600 hands at heads up now. I'm down 7.5 buy-ins, €30. All in adjusted is a little bit better than that. It's just 5 buy-ins, €20. I only looked at how much rake I paid the other day. Someone said to have a look at it. I actually paid €76 in rake, which is ridiculous for that amount of hands. So played 10 days now, 58 hours of play. I've had one operation and countless drugs. Put in 30 hours study at least. After a bit of rate back and first deposit bonus I got, I'm down €14 and feeling good. Feel like nothing's going to stop me. And just to end today's video, there's time for a quick message from one of my bosses. Okay.
My dad is always on the computer. Always, always, always.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is!